long.
How you been, guys?
Drug moj.
How you been? You'll never believe what I found in my kitchen the other day.
Što je to?
I found these magnets. Moscow, Kyrgyzstan.
Очень интересно.
Yes. Moscow, the center of the Russian Empire.
The center, I wouldn't say the center.
Come on.
I think you're forgetting about the Mongolians.
I'm not forgetting the Mongolians.
Kish posh, it's all about the Polish-Lithuanians.
The Polish-Lithuanians.
Polish-Lithuanians.
Who knows about the Polish-Lithuanians?
Everybody knows about the Commonwealth.
Oh, I bet you think that Crimea isn't a part of Russia, too.
Is it not?
Crimea is...
Don't start. Don't start.
I think we know that there's only one way to settle this.
You're right. There is only one way to settle this.
It's clearly a rap battle.
It began in 1569 with the creation of a single PL state of mind. United by common political rights, be prepared to be in awe by this PL might. Separate they're strong, united they're great. These nations are something to emulate. Poe, Kotkin, how can you compete? Your reasons are based on mediocrity. Poe, stop being such a drama queen. Your Russians' moment's over, can't you see? Saying that Russians created itself is almost as bad as Kotkin's Mongolian Commonwealth. Kotkin, you misguided fool. You overstate the Mongols' historical rule. Yes, they helped provide a basis, but how could they single-handedly influence the nation? Kotkin, let's get serious. You're being delirious. This Mongol-centric thing is utter ridiculous. Stop being selfish, nothing comes from that. You're both little kids with a pretty lyrical rap. When all said and done, you both should know that it's not the little things that made Russia grow. Oh, Kotkin, I'll end it with this. You don't want this wrath your homeboy's playing with. We're the rulers of the North, where everything comes from. You think this is a Game of Thrones, but I'll have none. With that being said, if you're feeling froggy, Poe, Kotkin, brace yourselves. Winter's coming.
Winter? Really? Then I think we should warm things up. I'm stepping on the scene to give a definition of Eurasia, not give an ontological perspective to displace ya. First off, let me tell you why Snyder's argument has hip dysplasia, then I'll give you an establishing shot so you understand this expansive space, brah. Autarkic, messianic, apologetic, and demonic. Eurasianism is alive and rather hypnotic. I hope you choke down these lyrics like tonic. I might want to shut your ears as I go supersonic. Snyder thinks that he starts at the beginning, gives a brief overview, discusses Ukrainian perspectives and the autocratic worldview, but unfortunately, he essentially seems to leave out a lens integral to discussion, the Mongolian route. Check page 494 of my imperial essay. I bet you'll be enlightened, essentially seeing Snyder's prose only heightened, and then I make points that make the punk frightened. Forced mind explosion, the powder keg of your doubts ignited. Upon an inclusive definition of empire, I'm prepared to spit hellfire. I aim to make your followers perspire. My argument focuses on the analysis of governments that did expire. An examination specifically of the Golden Horde, the Khanates, and a massive empire. The ability of the Khans to spread culture and spark a massive fire. I question the vernacular, asking is Eurasia innocuous, or is this in fact a paradigm shift of academics that aim and miss? I've got 15 different critics spitting my praises, a broadening of perspectives that finds different meaning in different spaces. Check out Kazan and you'll see that this term has many different faces. Over 5,000 years, the empires began to rise like slow yeast, expanding out to the west, swallowing up the east, picking up the dumpling from the Chinese, depositing that bit of culture into the Muscovian feast, forever replacing the culinary landscape. Read a little book by a girl named von Brinzen at least. You see, I believe that the Mongols provided a decent measuring stick, a tool by which to measure up the Eurasian space with. One that doesn't simply try to evoke some ethereal mist, but a check that contains concrete evidence.
You boys both have it wrong. Let me lay it out plain. All this Eurasia business is simply insane. Things like Europe and Asia are just words on a map. You think those old Ural mountains will fill in the gap? The border's so fluid it's like drawing lines in the ocean, so Eurasia in general is a ridiculous notion. If you think Russia is Europe, that label's not fair. 1,000 years the Europeans didn't even know the Rus tribes were there. They drove off the Finns, they fought off the Bulgars and Khazars. It wasn't until the Vikings that the Rus tribes felt some real scars. After a while they did a shift of power from Kiev to Moscow. And when the Kipchaks said pay tribute, all your boys could say was nuda. As the Golden Horde begins to fade, the Muscovites start to cower. I don't blame them. That's when Ivan the Terrible came to power. Although trade with Europe brought on the name we know, Russia, don't play that game. It's just a name. Doesn't mean they get to be you. And although administratively you can see a hint of Asia, don't try to tell that to your girlfriend Anastasia. So I propose that we quit all this fighting and fussing, quit saying Eurasian when we know that it's Russian.
Россия – многонациональная страна, слово. Она страна огромных возможностей, не только для преступников, но и для государства. Что касается предателей, то они сами загнутся. Украина – это прежде всего братский нам, украинский народ. Мы не хотим раздела Украины, но Крым может быть по факту только российским.
You win.
You win. You win. Oh! Где водка?